More Far Saviors and more toys. Summoners. They are just really pushing enemy phase right now. Let's talk about it. And first, let's get into Anna. I know Fedison has to be incredibly excited right now. So we've got a bow cav. This is obviously a nuke. Green is good versus blues. A lot of the meta is red right now, but we do have a lot of... Well, we still have Brave Vector and obviously Dimitri. So we have Heartbroker Bow. Slaying, effective against flying. If unit initiates combat orders within 2 spaces of an ally, grants Omni plus X to unit. X equals 5 plus number of times unit has been enhanced using Dragon Flowers, max of 10. Don't forget, this unit can only have 5 flowers right now, so you're only getting 10 until the next gen comes along, so September. Deals damage equals 50% of unit speed. That's nice, including dealing damage with a special triggered before combat, so AoEs, and neutralizes effects that prevent units follow-up attack during combat. Pretty standard. Luna, Remote Sparrow, Seal Defense 4, and Colorless Feud 3 because they just know Maria is coming for everyone. So, the big question we'll have to be asking is, can this unit beat Brave Dimitri? Because that is the blue unit right now, and it's the reason you're having a green on your team. Let's keep on moving though. It seems a little bit cheap putting her up against a bow flyer, but you know, we'll let them do what they're gonna do. Next up we have Cyree. This is interesting. Okay. We're going to look at this. You notice everyone has movement here that's melee and on the same... Yeah, summoners. This is an interesting unit. Okay. Chonson Sprig. We've got Slaying. If unit initiates combat orders within 2 spaces of an ally, grants Omni plus 5 to unit, inflicts penalty on foe's speed and defense equals 25% of foe's attack at start of combat minus 8. Max of 10. So 10 debuff to speed and defense is very good, especially in the speed meta we're in. Reduces damage from foe's first attack by 40% and grants special cooldown charge plus 1 to unit per attack during combat. So we've got the breath effect, we've got the 40% damage reduction, we've got speed, defense, rain, snap. And this is what's really interesting about this unit. Inflicts speed defense minus 4 on foes within 2 spaces of unit during combat. At start of turn, if unit is within 2 spaces of an armored ally or an infantry ally with range 1, grants unit can move 1 extra space to unit, infantry allies with range equals 1 within 2 spaces of unit, and armored allies within 2 spaces of unit. So, wow. That's interesting. That turn only does not stack. Effects trigger only if unit has no sing or dance skill. Oh, it can't be used on dancers. Interesting. The amount of supportive skills that they're giving flyers is fascinating, and ultimately you're not using this over Guidance 4, you want Guidance 4, period. But this is still an interesting side grade, and there are some fun things you can do with this. It does up the value of any kind of stall units, like Mark and obviously Duo Thor. So just keep that in mind. This is an interesting unit. We're going to talk about where this unit belongs in just a second. Keep in mind Guard Bearing 4 gets very interesting on this unit just because you're stacking damage reduction, and it's not something you used to be able to do on flyers. There are a lot of neat things you can do right now. We have Flavia. Everyone gets this unit after seeing the hair with all the little spikes. Oh. All right. 4-star demote. You've got Bridal Blade Plus. This is a good weapon. It is respectable. The problem is we're always going to be comparing these to the arcane weapons, and this doesn't stack up to that. Harsh Command Plus is nice on a demote. There continue to be ways that you want to be able to use Harsh Command Plus, and this is a way to get this for cheap. Attack Defense Clash is very nice. It's not the class you want, like generally you want the attack speed, but still good to have, and rouse attack speed 3. It's an okay D mode. Like if you like Flavia, there are some things you can do with this. Melee calves are tough though, just because of the brave competition. Like you're up against Crom and Seliph. Awakening Tiki again. Do you feel like they're trying to make up for Brave Tiki? I just okay. Twin Divine Stone. This is the unit. Like this is the interesting thing about this whole banner. Twin Divine Stone. So you got effective against dragons, which comes in very handy in a lot of different ways. You've got slaying, you've got the start of combat if unit's HP is greater than 25%, grants Omni +5 to unit during combat, and you've got healing with restore 7 HP to unit after combat. And also, if unit's res is greater than foe's res, unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack and reduces damage from attacks during combat and from area of effect specials by percentage equals difference between stats times 4, max of 40. That's very nice. If unit's HP is greater than 25% at start of combat, unit's res is greater than foe's res +5 during combat, and foe's attack can trigger foe's special, inflicts special cooldown +1 on foe, which is that Tiki effect that we've seen so many times. Cannot exceed foe's max special cooldown count, and grant special cooldown count -1 to unit before foe's first attack. So you've got slaying and that. Like that's you're dropping armored flow down to 1 if you meet that res check, which is really nice. Armored flow. We've got another. This is boost special damage by 40% of unit's res if foe's range equals 2 or unit or foe's special is ready or triggered before or during this combat. Reduces damage from foe's next attack by 40%, and keep in mind that's non-pierceable. So that is fantastic. Mirror Stance 3. New Divinity, we've seen this before at start of combat. If unit's HP is greater than 25%, inflicts attack res -5 on foe during combat. And also, if unit's res is greater than foe's res, reduces damage from attacks during combat and from area effect specials by percentage equals difference between stats times 4. That's another 40%. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 40%, foe cannot make a follow-up attack during combat. And then AR far save, because of course. Okay, so we've seen this with Armored Beacon, and the way this is supposed to work is set up really nicely. Like this is trying to get the foe has a special proc. You come in, they attack you, it's unprocced, and then on the second hit, Armored Flow triggers. So for units like, if you think about one of the premier nukes right now in Veronica. She's going to come in and she's going to have 40% of her damage reduced, and this unit will survive Veronica. Like this is designed for that kind of attack. If you think of Yuri set up with Special Spiral and Luna, and procced on the first turn, that means that Luna is not going to go off till the second turn, and even though you've got Special Spiral, you're still going to reduce damage because of that Armored Flow. Like this is really interesting. The Mirrored Stance is supposed to obviously keep specials from going off in the first place, but if you've got acceleration, again, you want him to hit on that second one. The problem I have with this unit is so much of it depends on keeping the unit from attacking and not having null follow-up. If a unit has no follow-up, it becomes much harder for this unit to really get a kill. I'm not saying they won't. Armored Flow is definitely there. And keep in mind, we saw something similar with Rhea as an Omni tank. But remember that Rhea, because of flat damage reduction, has a lot more percentage of success, which is weird because anyway, Rhea has a lot more ways to keep you from killing her, whereas this This unit has special denial in a way, but really some of the tougher units she's not going to be able to secure a kill. And we have units like Arvel out there. We have high-res nukes, and they're starting to become fairly common. If you think about res stacking on Arvel, especially in Astro season and Anima season rather, Arvel is going to come in and just absolutely wallop this unit, and you're going to see a lot of Arvels. So it limits what you can do in Astro season, and in Light season, you've got Embla. So I'm not a huge fan of this, but it is very interesting, and I want to see Armored FLOE on some different units. I still think this is a lot of fun, and I like that they're giving us new things. We've seen Brave Tiki. She definitely has flaws, and this unit is kind of trying to patch those up just through armored goodness. I do like, Thracer with Dragon Effectiveness coming in and not being able to attack is fantastic. Right there, we missed stats. I'm just gonna flash them up on the screen though. Actually, no. Let's go back. I'll spare myself the editing there. Where'd those stats go? I just saw them. I swear to God. Oh, that's terrible. There we go. 58 attack, which is nice. 26 speed. It's nice to see that as a dump stat because you either want high speed or you want no speed. And then defense res both 40 or above. So this is a pretty beefy unit, and dragons have a whole lot of fun things. Yeah. I mean, what can I say? The one problem, like if you want to run this unit in arena though. I guess we didn't have DC in here, did we? So they do expect you to run it on the seal, which I guess is nice. You don't want it. You don't want her weapon cluttered up if she's just going to use the DC seal anyway. Okay, that's good. It's an interesting unit. I want to see how the unit is used. The problem is I think we've just had some really nice Far Saviors, and I don't have a whole lot of faith in the Brave Tiki effect as is. I like it as a scowl. I don't know if I like it as like the main way that your unit works. So, yes, Tiki, just go in and kill everything. Armored FLOE ready to go and absolutely smashing like an iceberg. Fantastic. All right. Then there's this, and this is the most sleeper harmonized skill ever. Sleepy harmonized skill. Neutralizes foes' bonuses during combat and neutralizes units' penalties during combat to unit and allies from the same title as unit for one turn. It's just okay. I mean, yeah, Resonant Shields is going to give you extra buffs. You're not going to be able to use this in Aether Raids. This is for Summoner Duels, this is a stall. Like, this is just in order to stall. That's the whole purpose of this. Fedison is going to be very happy. Obviously, cheapest here is to go for Anna. And Anna, you're going to be able to get it much cheaper than the others. So if you're Fedison, congratulations. This is a good time to have an Anna, and I hope your orbs are ready. You will notice, actually, at this point, colorless is a little bit better than blue, so it's also not a terrible time to go for Tiki, but yeah. We'll skip past this. I'll publish this so you guys can peruse it at your leisure. First, I want to talk about ranged nukes, and Anna, to me, is at that lower end of tier 1. I do like I guess she gets plus 10 at this point, and in a couple months she'll get plus 15 or minus 15. Anyway, she'll get the point differential, and the problem is she's a green unit, and the question is, can she take out Dimitri? That answer right now is just no. She is not strong enough to do that. It's like the same thing we experienced with any green units back when Brave Hector was around. And the question was always, can you beat Brave Hector? And if not, I need another green unit. So we've got that. I still think she's going to hit hard. I think she's going to be a fun unit to use. I think she's going to have a lot of speed. Speed is always something you can work with, so keep that in mind. Like I do like the unit. I'm not sure she is... Yeah, she ranks tier 1, and I think that's about it. That's still a very good tier, though. I think she's kind of at the back end there. Okay, so I've got Sairi in tier 2 here, and kind of at the back of it. Understand, I'm gonna look at her stats one more time. She's got very high attack, very high speed, but I don't know that she's got enough to punch through anything. She's still a very interesting unit for defense and can probably catch a lot of folks off guard. I don't think she's a unit I want to be using in summoner duels, but there is something to be said for getting extra movement. I mean, range is king. So the problem is you can't use it on any of your ranged units. So it's a little less good, but still, tier 2, and I think the fodder's interesting if you want to go in for that. Flavia for me is solidly tier 2 here. That has more to do with the fact that she's a sword cav, and again, like, your competition is Brave Crom, Brave Seliph. Like, how do you compare those units and this unit doesn't? Like, that's so if you just want to have fun, if you want this unit for Seer Snare, for instance, I think this is a fun merge project, and being red, she should be easy enough to merge up. Last but not least, in the Far Saviors. Now, I know I didn't talk very well of Tiki, and there's some things that I wanted to make her, to really bump her up one. But I still think tier 1 is very nice. I'm in the middle of doing some sims. I'm kind of trying to update this Far Savior tier list because we've had so many new things for armor. So I'm gonna have an update to this hopefully next time you see it, so I can really get a better grasp on what's going on. As of right now, I've got her at the top of tier 1, but I want to get her in the sims, and I want to see how exactly she plays. But yeah, I still top of tier 1 then. So if you're a Tiki fan or you're in need of some interesting fodder, I think this is a good one here. But other than that, there isn't just a whole lot to pull your attention away from the coming summer units. But anyway, I thank you so much for the members. I appreciate your support. If you like the content, you can support us there, or with Super Chat, or just with a thumbs up, and I always appreciate it. You guys take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHology real soon.